This is the Quran, a folio from the Quran. It is considered, calligraphy is considered one of the highest in all the arts for the Islamic society as a result of the reverence of the Quran, which is the word of God as spoken to Muhammad, and then after writing it down, it then extends to calligraphy. So calligraphy was eventually extended to become a key decoration for many Islamic buildings and objects. This folio from the Quran dates from the 8th to 9th century, and it is ink and gold on parchment, and it is currently today at the Morgan Library in New York. And Arabic script is written from right to left, so opposite of how we write. And the letters form varies depending on its position within the words. There's a rhythmic variations, and Arabic lends itself to many different forms. Arabic is the divine language of Islam. When they're writing consonants, many of the consonants share basic letter forms, and they're usually distinguishable by the lines or dots placed above or below the letter to say which consonant is which one. Short vowels are typically not written in Arabic. Those vowels are A, U, and I. And because they're not written for the Quran, they're going to add them in order to avoid misreading of an important text. And it became standard that short vowels are marked by red circles that are positioned either above, next to, or below, depending on the vowel. Typically, in the Quran, they're written on parchment or vellum, both of which are made from animal skins. It has very high quality, and to make these folios, they need a large quantity of this high quality materials. And the geometric planning of the text shows the importance of the Qurans. Calligraphers enjoyed the highest status in all of the arts in Islamic society. Scribes learned from a very young age the formulas to make the ink, paints, and became skilled in the proper ways to sit, breathe, and manipulate their tools. Scribes also had to know literary traditions and symbolism within the Islamic culture. As a result of their training, calligraphers received public recognition, unlike most other artists in Islamic society. Scribes would memorize and produce proportions of each pen stroke as part of their training. Scribes did have some freedom in composing a page. They could emphasize individual words and balance the width of the lines of different lengths by elongating certain letters horizontally. They could adjust spacing and could even split words in order to balance the positive and negative space. Because of this, it was often difficult to read it. So anyone who was going to read out loud from the Quran would usually memorize the part of the Quran that they were going to read aloud, and then they would use the manuscript mostly as a mnemonic device. The visual clarity in Qurans were important because a single book was often shared by multiple readers simultaneously. And instead of page numbers, there would be a gold page break that would serve as a chapter break. And by the 10th century, more than 20 different forms of calligraphy had come into use. These were standardized by an Abbasid official who fixed the proportions of each letter and each script and devised a method for teaching calligraphy that is still in use today. Some of the calligraphy that we'll see in other of the pieces become highly abstract or even geometric, and so that's why they needed to standardize it so that people could actually read it. The time and attention that they put into writing the Quran shows the importance and significance of the Quran to the Islamic culture, And because remember, the Word of God is what is most important. And so reading the Word of God is the key to this folio. When you This is a really good comparison to the early Christian manuscripts that we're going to talk about in the next section of this when we talk about the illuminated manuscripts. So there is some kind of a parallel between the illuminated manuscripts to the Quran in the fact of how important and significant it was, how expensive it was, and how revered these artists were. So that's it for the folio of the Quran.